What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Peanut Gallery podcast. This is the place that we provide completely unprofessional and insignificant opinions on the most important and significant topics of the day. I'm your host, Jared, and with me, as always, is Seth. Seth, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot, dude. Just got back from Disney, which is always great.
Disney during Christmas.
Freaking crowded right now. But it's all Christmas-sized. School's done. Just hanging out, man.
Yeah, dude, I've been celebrating Christmas like no other.
Right, I love your Santa hat, dude.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Pretty festive.
Pretty festive. I don't know. I feel like I like it, but I'm slightly triggered because, just because I can be triggered.
Well, I mean, it's a holiday hat.
Are you identifying as Santa?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not identifying as Santa, and this is actually a holiday hat. It doesn't even really represent. Hat. Yeah, it doesn't represent Santa. This is
got it.
This was used in the ceremonies of Kwanzaa. Actually, not very many people know that, but it's a Kwanzaa hat.
I mean, it sounds like cultural differences, so I'm just gonna put it up to that.
No, but I'm pretty mad that Michael Bublé only has one Christmas album because it's forced me to listen to it on repeat all the time.
You know Celine Dion, that new artist you found out the other day, has a Christmas album. Oh yeah.
Does she really have a Christmas album?
I'm pretty sure she has it. She does Drummer Boy. I think she has a Christmas album.
Well, I know what I'm doing after this. All right, guys. Well, without further ado, we're going to move right into what was nuts this week. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and move right into what was nuts this week. So we're going to go ahead and talk about our first story, which is that very beneficial recount that was done.
Oh, yeah. Super useful.
Yeah. And, well, of course, the intentions of this were to purely just recount, not to raise any money or anything like that.
Oh, wait. There was a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe or something that raised $7.3 million. What?
No big deal. So if you guys didn't know, Jill Stein of the Green Party, the person who got 5 votes in the election.
Hey, I think it was closer to like 7.
It was 7. Got it. Wanted a recount, which then, of course, the Clinton campaign said, okay, well, if they're going to recount, we'll go ahead and join in too. Ended up, they only did it in one state, Wisconsin, right?
Wisconsin's the only one that actually went through with it and then ended up giving Trump more votes.
Nail it. Dude, it's worth $7 million. I'm sure those people who contributed to that cause, I'm sure they feel good about that.
But yeah, it's not even so much that the recount, like the recount is okay, I guess. I mean, if you think that there's like voter fraud or whatever, but now she's coming forward and being like, we are deserving a voting system we can trust. And they said that there were not evidence, but they were like accounts of maybe there could be voter fraud.
Things weren't lining up
exactly
the right way with the electronic paper or with the electronic ballots and the paper ballots.
And that was immediately thrown to the side by polling experts and stuff. Well, I mean, the polling experts kind of sucked, but there was no actual proof. And so at that point, they should have just been like...
Facts don't matter, man.
Facts don't matter. So anyway, we got to recount and nothing happened and $7 million wasted. Great.
Moving on. Well, that's okay. The left wastes money all the time.
No, dude. Give it to the people that don't actually work.
There you go. Nailed it. Moving on to the next story. What is this? A college that wants to discourage even the term holiday party.
Yeah, Texas.
You definitely can't say Christmas party.
Well, no. I mean, Christmas is obviously a trigger.
It's a trigger, yes.
Trigger word, I guess.
But now even holiday.
Yeah.
Holiday is offensive to people.
Texas Women's University, which is a predominantly... I guess it's not a strictly only women, from what I could find out. It was kind of predominantly women, which...
Seems kind of sexist to me.
Exactly.
Honestly.
So they let in like a professor that's a male. Maybe he does male studies instead of women's studies.
If I identify as a woman, can I go?
Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I think I should be able to go.
Yeah. So anyway, they put out I don't know if it was a flyer. It was like a announcement to all of their students that if they're going to have a holiday party, that they should kind of veer towards calling it an end of semester party or a end of the fiscal year party.
That's my favorite.
It's not multicultural enough to say holiday party because not every culture celebrates a holiday through the end of December.
Dude, can you imagine going to your friend and be like, "Hey, man, we're throwing this awesome party. It's gonna be the end of the fiscal year party. We're gonna throw down, man. It's gonna be great."
It's absolutely insane, man. And they even went so far as to say music quote associated with a faith tradition such as Christmas carols is discouraged, and multicultural playlist that reflects all faith traditions is preferred.
Which there's tons of songs that reflect all faiths tradition. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah,
I listen to it all the time. It's great.
Like, why can't you just like don't go to the party? Like, if you're not, don't go.
If a Christmas tree offends you that much, then just don't go.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
Start your own party. Start your own fiscal year party. Don't ask these people to change their party.
Dude, it's crazy. I think it's crazy that they even call it holiday party too. Like, I think that Christmas is the biggest holiday that happens there. Like, yes, there's Hanukkah and there's Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa's made up. Hanukkah isn't. It's a Jewish holiday, but it's not. They'll tell you it's not even that big of a Jewish holiday.
Yeah.
In their count, like Christmas is the biggest holiday for Christians and for non-Christians.
It's
like,
totally
out
not.
Of any holiday.
Easter's way more important than Christmas.
I think they're both as equally important.
All right. Well, at most they're equal, but I understand the holiday.
Savior.
I don't mind the holiday. The holiday really doesn't bother me. Like, if you want to say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas,
yeah,
whatever. But don't get mad at me for saying Merry Christmas. Once again, tolerance. Don't tell me that I can't say it, but just understand I might have a different belief than you. And when I say Merry Christmas, I'm not saying, I hope you're Christian, Merry Christmas. It's saying, I mean, that's what I believe.
Just Merry Christmas.
I'm going to say Merry Christmas. You can say Happy Holidays. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
or
nope,
happy
not allowed to say
happy
anything.
end of the fiscal year. I think that's what we should tell people.
It really rolls off the tongue.
It really does. Yeah, it sounds nice. It's
End
nice.
of the fiscal year. Gosh, man. I don't know, dude. But I thought it was worth calling attention. I mean, I really hope other colleges don't like grab onto this.
Well, I mean, at the end of the fiscal year party, can you burn the flag?
As long as
something
it's
that you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just yes.
Sweet.
Yep. As long as you're using money given to you by the state to burn.
By taxpayers.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to, in my opinion, an equally bizarre story.
Yeah, I don't know why this bothers you so much. I mean, I understand why it bothers me so much.
Ivanka Trump may possibly be the first lady.
Mm-hmm. So we've been hearing reports of this. Nothing has been confirmed either way.
It's all speculation, which I hate.
Yes.
But if it's true.
Yeah, and it's worth noting just because it would be such a rare case. Melanie? Is that Melanie? Melania, sorry. Melania Trump has come forward and said that she's not going to leave Trump Tower until their son is done with school.
Yeah.
And as such, if she doesn't leave Trump Tower, she really can't be first lady. And so people are looking towards Ivanka as possibly being the first lady, at least until the son's done with school. Like, I don't know. Is there a handoff?
Yeah, there's a baton.
There's a baton. Like, I don't. It's weird.
There have been first ladies before who have been the first lady who haven't lived at the White House, though. I don't think this, especially
and
since
it's
going to be for like 5 months.
Wives, like there have been daughters that have been first ladies. Usually, though, it's
associated with the death of the wife or something like that. Typically, I don't think there. I did a little bit of research before this, and I could not find any instance where there was the daughter or anyone else other than the first lady was the first lady when the wife had not passed away.
Okay.
So this would definitely be strange. And like, to me, why? Like, Melania, why can't Melania do it?
Well, I mean, I understand her wanting to stay in the tower for her son, but I think it kind of falls under the whole thing of they weren't really prepared to win. And they really didn't understand what they were doing because...
But this is such an easy thing, and it bugs me because I feel like this is where there's a double standard. If this has happened with Michelle Obama, and Michelle Obama said, no, I'm going to stay in this hotel that we have to pay millions of dollars with...
That I own.
But they have... For
Do
security.
They pay money to stay there?
For security.
I guess
for security. Because you're having to have extra security there. You're having to pay millions of extra dollars to do it. People would be like, no, why can't you just move the kid to a perfectly adequate school in D.C.? There's plenty of great schools in D.C. The kid can go there. And then, like, because you're going to have to move... he's going to move schools anyways.
How old is he? Is he still in elementary school? We're talking.
I think he's in elementary school, or like 6th grade or something like that. But he's gonna have to move schools anyways.
Yeah.
Like, why does it matter if he moves now or in May?
I don't know. And it feels like something you should have really discussed before you run for president. And honestly, we don't know. I mean, it could very well be that this is complete garbage.
Plus, Melania has ties with. I mean, he said that his kids are gonna run his business. So I think it's a major conflict of interest.
I don't think he meant Melania, his 6-year-old.
Melania is a vice president of Trump of the Trump business, and then she's also First Lady of the United States. I think that's a big conflict of interest.
Well, that just comes down to because I think I'm really interested in a lot of that because it is a conflict of interest.
Well, he was supposed to have a press conference about it the 15th that he pushed back.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, yeah, interesting.
I don't know. But this is one of those things that falls under his cabinet, which is also really haven't discussed because we really don't want to discuss a lot of these things until it actually happens.
Until it's finalized, yeah.
But this was just, I think, worth noting because it would be interesting to see a daughter as a first lady. That'd be really unique.
Especially
I really
a daughter
don't
that
think...
the president-elect said that he would be dating if it wasn't his daughter. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I can't argue with it. But, I mean, we really don't know where she stands on pretty much anything. I mean, she's kind of been a silent person.
I mean, she's for the paid maternity leave. She's for global warming stuff. I know.
Like, what do you mean? Like, she doesn't like?
I know she's. I don't know if she's a fan of the Paris Agreement. I'm not. I honestly don't know, but I know that she's spoken in favor of global warming and more clean energy and spending a lot of money and resources.
Not in favor of global warming, but in favor of
of global warming friendly
as
policies.
A crisis.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Much more so than any other Republican candidate would be. I know that she was a registered Democrat and she couldn't even vote for her father in the primary because she wasn't a Republican.
Like the story of the Trump presidency.
But it's I don't know. It's just
bizarre.
Not to say I don't know where Melania stands on these issues. She might be she might stand where Ivanka does too. But it bugs me that.
I would want the wife to stand with the husband. I would understand the daughter running it if the wife wasn't in the picture, but she's clearly just like, I don't want to go to the White House. And who doesn't want to live at the White House? I mean, it's kind of a pretty unique
bizarre.
thing.
It's bizarre.
Although the Trump Tower is probably way nicer.
It's a pretty nice tower.
No, I don't know. I haven't been in it.
Well, moving on to some good news. I think this is pretty cool.
This is freaking awesome. So Amazon, a couple years back, they put up a promo of Amazon drone delivery, which was where they would be able to put a package on a unmanned drone that's computer controlled that can take the package from the distribution facility and take it to your house, like your backyard, drop it off, so you could get packages within like an hour or just a lot quicker and more efficiently than saying they have to pack it up in a truck. The truck has to drive, fight traffic, whatever. At that time when they put the original video out a couple years ago, no one really thought it was really in the picture, and it was kind of a publicity stunt. Oh. But December 7th, man, they did their very first drone delivery over in the UK because of there's less regulations on the drones, which is something they're going to have to figure out. But yeah, man, drone. Someone in Cambridge ordered. So
what
is
it? Does it like lower it down on the line? I mean, so it doesn't just fly over and drop it off.
No. So what happens is you can order. There's like a very specific set of things that you can buy right now because it has to be less than 5 pounds.
Yeah.
It has to be at that distribution center. So what it does is the drone comes out and the drone sucks up the package, or the package gets put up into the drone. Right? Then the drone just takes off by itself, flies over to your address. You have to put out a little card, like I think it's like a 2x2, like a 2-foot by 2-foot card on your lawn. Mm-hmm. The drone flies over, sees it, comes down, lands like on the ground, drops the package, goes up, and goes back, and you get your package. So cool. And obviously, there's a lot of things we're gonna have to work through. I mean, people stealing the drones. If there's like a bunch of drones in the air, like what's happening? Yeah. But it's such a cool step, I think, in technology. Really cool. And think about what they could do. Because right now, I mean, obviously, if you're really remote, you're probably not going to get drone delivery anytime soon. But like, think about what if they just had like a giant truck that would just drive into like an urban place and then just open up its things and a bunch of drones go out and deliver packages, you know? Like, they would save so much money and so much efficiency with like having to drive to each house to be able to just drive in a central location, let all the drones out, they deliver all the packages, and they come back to the truck and the truck leaves.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and there's so many cool opportunities, and it's technology is insane, man.
I think it's definitely the future of like delivering packages and stuff, you know? Like, I don't know. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it works on a more global and larger scale.
And I also don't know how much it costs, because I mean, they already have
Shipping
free 2-day shipping, so is free drone shipping extra? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of places.
What if it gets to the point where you can like select like 1 hour, 4 hour?
Well, no, dude, they already
delivery,
have Prime Now.
I mean?
They have, I think it's called Prime Now, in some cities, San Francisco, Austin, where I think it's within an hour. It's very fast. It's within a day at least. I'm pretty sure it's within the hour.
Yeah, no. One of my buddies, they were doing something like that around here, because he ordered. The only thing they did was like footballs. He ordered a football at like 2 o'clock at work, and it showed up at our work at like 5:30.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And we can just get that speed. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move right into the main topic this week. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the main topic this week. Today we're going to be talking about Russia, specifically Vladimir Putin. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you should. What the heck are you doing? We just posted a picture, though. There's been an awesome discussion about it, talking about if Vladimir Putin should be a friend or a foe to the United States, basically if he would be a trustworthy ally that the United States can count on,
or a worthwhile ally.
Or worthwhile.
I don't think anyone thinks he's trustworthy.
Yeah, true. Like if he would cooperate with the United States. But I think it's very interesting about how many people have kind of shifted their ideas about Russia and stuff like that, and now a lot of people respect Vladimir Putin and they like him. And
it's
stuff
kind of
like
a
that
180 in most situations.
Especially for Republicans. I mean, Republicans have been very strong against Russia ever since pretty much World War II ended and stuff like that. We had the Cold War era and all that, and then all the conflict in the Middle East. And now that Donald Trump is saying, it's fine, we should be friends with Russia. It'd be great if Russia and the United States got along, which I think so too. But if it actually
utopia,
yeah, exactly. If it would actually work, is a whole nother story. But I think it's important to kind of lay out a little bit of backstory about Vladimir Putin. We're going to talk a little bit about his rise to power, who he is as a person, and then we're going to talk a little bit about if it makes sense for the United States to try to have them as an ally, and what have they done in the past and what have we done in the past to kind of see if it would really work. So we're gonna talk about his past, and so it's really important to note that he was a KGB spy. He was stationed in Eastern Germany originally. This is during the 1980s and stuff like that. It's important to note that this was during the era of the Soviet Union in Russia, which of course the Soviet Union fell in the early 1990s. It was a communist state. But it's important to know this because Putin really kind of got a lot of his ideas, and he saw Russia through the glory days of the Soviet Union. He still does, and he talks about it a lot, about Russia still being that same, superpower of the world and stuff like that they were when they were competing with the United States during the Cold War.
It's kind of a red flag. A little bit.
Yeah, no, because I mean, the Soviet Union inevitably fell, as all communist countries do, because it doesn't work.
But we should try it this time, Jared. It could work.
It might work this time. I agree. Well, we take a little bit of democratic communism. That should be a thing. Anyways, so when he comes back from being a KGB officer, he became a deputy mayor in St. Petersburg. From there, he moves to Moscow. He becomes the prime minister under the current president, which is Boris Yeltsin.
So the prime minister is underneath the president, but it's like the second in command, kind of?
Yeah, it's directly under the president.
Gotcha.
So he's the prime minister of there. He rises to power through some pretty controversial things. We'll talk about him later. There's an apartment bombing that happened in a couple different cities where there's a lot of proof and evidence that it might have been the Russian government who orchestrated this bombing in order to kind of prop Putin up, because he then very strongly and brutally went to war against Chechen. The country, he invaded them and he brutally bombed them and stuff like that after this, and the Russian people really like that, and it's similar to when 9/11 happened and stuff like that, and then we went in and we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan. It was a popular move among the people because at
that time it was definitely,
and I think it was still justified. I think we handled it poorly after we got there, and we've been there for so long, but anyways, it gained a lot of Vladimir Putin gained a lot of support during this. And then he then became the president in 2000 of Russia. So I think it's kind of important to note his rise to power. His rise to power was through a lot of controversies and stuff like that they had to go through. But I don't understand why so many Americans. I mean, I really do actually. I think that we've had such a lack of power and like a lack of a strong man per se. Over the past 8 years, and even before that, really, I don't think we've had really that strong of a president since Ronald Reagan. But I think that people have mistaken his strength and stuff like that for him being a good leader.
Yeah.
And I think it's a slippery slope for people to go down, because if you look at what he's done with Russia, it's really not that impressive. I mean, their economy has gotten better. But
it started at like the bottom. It started
at the I mean, literally, the Soviet Union fell and stuff like that. Like it was like people didn't have food and stuff like that. There were tons of riots and looting. Like, you think Black Lives Matter rioting is something? Like, it makes them look like freaking angels. Yeah. Okay, so there was Russia was in a really, really bad state when the Soviet Union fell until his regime kind of took over, and their economy has gotten better since. But I think he's really stifled that growth and stuff with his policies and everything like that are back in the past. I think he's living too much in the past for Russia, because they could really be doing. Russia could be doing very well as a country just with the natural resources and stuff like that.
You think?
Because
their main export is oil, right? And oil is kind of
oil and raw
off.
materials.
Okay. But, I mean, oil was their biggest export when they grew their GDP, but oil has kind of tiered off. So what do you think would make them become such a powerful country now that they could do?
I think that he's focused so much in oil, they haven't done anything else with their economy, because he's appointed so many people. I mean, obviously their economy and stuff like that is largely controlled by government and stuff like that. The business ties, there's a lot of corruption and everything like that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, of course.
Which is the problem, because a lot of the reasons why people don't like him or they do like him is anecdotal evidence, where we really don't have a lot of proof on everything.
There's not a lot of facts, because Russia.
Well, think about it. I mean, if you control the country, you're going to be able to stifle certain things.
And this is another. They're what are they? 180 out of 199 in freedom of press. So it's not like there's anyone to kind of rival them or speak out against it, because the press can't say anything because it gets censored or people die. Reporters are killed, or people who investigate into certain matters. Yeah, there's something like 34 reporters since 2000 have been, mysteriously killed, like days after they've reported on government corruption and stuff like that.
Yeah, to see, because Russia is at a better position, I would say, than when he became president, but it's hard to be able to split the two on just an economy rebounding from such a low place and the things he has done to help it. It's
not because he's been a good president, though. It's strictly been because the Soviet Union fell. Their economy was total crap. They were literally as low as they could be, and then obviously it's going to recover.
There's nowhere to go from up.
Another system's going to take over, and people have mistaken that for great leadership.
Now that's what. Yeah, because honestly, I don't think he's a great person, and I wouldn't want to live in Russia, but I think it's important that we try to be as friendly to him as we possibly can. He seems like a little bit of a loose cannon.
He's a total loose cannon, and Russia has proven. Sure, in a utopia, it would be great if the United States and Russia get along, but he has proven time and time again. Now, our administration has treated all foreign affairs absolutely terrible,
Just
like total crap. So it's really, I feel bad right now, like speaking out against. Well, I don't really, because I don't think they're good at all. I don't know. I feel like there's plenty of problems that we've done with our foreign policy. Mm-hmm. So it seems a little hypocritical to speak out against Russia. But I think we're kind of moving into a new era. I think we're going to treat our foreign policy differently than we have in the past 8 years. But it will be really interesting to see what happens, because time and time again, Russia has played, or Vladimir Putin specifically, has played the last 3 administrations, whether it be kind of moving up and taking land in Ukraine with the no-fly, with the red lines, like just this past month, Vladimir Putin's forces crossed the line. They didn't cross the line, man. They freaking crossed it, and then they went back over it, and then they crossed it again, and then they flip-flopped back and forth and just kept going, just running it over, man. It makes our administration look laughable.
I almost kind of respect in a way, because in a way that's kind of similar to what we've done with Trump, with electing him, saying this system is garbage. This person that is going to make a mockery of the garbage system that has become, we elected. And Putin's been doing that a lot with the certain sanctions with the United Nations, kind of exposing the fallacies and weaknesses that are inherent and exist and taking advantage of them. That's kind of, he's been exploiting him. So
I think, he definitely has been exploiting them. I think he's power hungry, and I think that he will do whatever is best for the state of Russia, in his opinion. I don't think necessarily that is equal to what's best for the Russian people. They're not the same thing. I think he cares more about Russia as a collective whole than he does about individual Russian people. However, it's just, the main reason we're talking about this is I don't want Americans to mistake his strength for him being this great ally and friend of America, because he's not.
Yeah. And there's also been the big thing coming forward recently with the CIA saying that they have proof, or there is evidence of Russia meddling in our election, and specifically with Putin having a hand in it.
Yeah.
And classically, there's always been the left has been trying to pull these ties between Putin and Trump throughout the whole election.
Yeah.
Maybe they're actually true. I mean, I don't know. I tend to lean towards.
It's so hard to tell what's true and not today.
Right? Because I tend to lean towards the fact
know.
that I thought the FBI with the Clinton email investigation, they said there was nothing. I think that's garbage. We clearly saw there were a lot of things that were a problem. So I think they got it wrong there. Yeah. And just to be consistent, I would assume that they got it wrong here. And they're just trying to backpedal and be like, well, we don't think that Trump really won. And like they're kind of hedging their bets, Like saying Clinton didn't do anything wrong. She clearly did. And then being like, well, Trump really didn't get in legitly. They're hedging their bets, and they're being like, well, we're out of this.
Yeah.
And
it's ridiculous though, because Donald Trump did not win because of WikiLeaks. The WikiLeaks were hardly covered at all, which is like what Russia uncovered. Donald Trump won because Hillary Clinton was a terrible candidate, because people were fed up with it, and a lot of it had to do with the FBI investigations and it reopening right before the election happened.
That and even the media, though. I mean, I think being the media constantly telling anybody if they were a Trump supporter, they were racist.
But Donald Trump would have won the election whether the WikiLeaks had happened or not, whether Russia had hacked the Wiki, or whether they didn't. I think if the WikiLeaks had come out, whether they did or didn't, take that away, you still have the FBI investigation and stuff like that, and all the media telling people what they should and shouldn't believe, and all this. When people got fed up, Donald Trump still would have won.
Really?
I don't think that Russia, if they did, played a role in having him. I think he totally would have won either way.
I think that the investigation was that she was being investigated, and then the WikiLeaks was saying these are the things that the FBI is actively looking at, basically. And I think that allowing the people to see emails and stuff that were in the emails instead of just being told she's being investigated, I think definitely contributed to Trump winning.
Yeah, but the FBI was investigating her before those WikiLeaks came out about Benghazi and stuff like that.
Yeah, but
I think that's what really hurt her.
But
people knew she was already corrupt.
Was there this inherent distrust in the FBI beforehand? I don't think so. I think it came forward when people saw these emails and heard the one or two reports about them that were like, listen, we have email proof that this was happening. And then the FBI comes forward and says, yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. When we can say, hey, right here, this was wrong. But if there's nothing to point to,
yeah,
no one has anything to say. Well, actually, like, I think people.
I just don't think anyone covered it that much in depth. Like, I don't think the media talked about it that much, and that's why I think that the actual WikiLeaks themselves didn't play as much of a role. It was more the media covering for telling people what they should think, and then also there was an FBI investigation before a lot of the WikiLeaks even came to light, which I think hurt her a lot too. I don't know. I don't think it affected it that much.
Okay. I mean, I think,
but it might. There's no way to prove it. But
there's no way to know.
I don't think that it affected it that much. I think Donald Trump would still be the president either way.
We should do some recounts.
We should.
Let's raise some money.
Let's start a GoFundMe.
No. But having said that, whether or not the WikiLeaks really played a part, it doesn't really matter. But if Russia is meddling in our election process,
it's not a good thing.
Big problem with that.
Yeah.
Big problem with that.
Yeah.
Like,
no, 100%.
Like, no. We need to. I mean, if there really is proof, and all we really have is them saying that, oh yeah, we found some stuff that incriminates Russia. I mean, if there is solid proof, let us know, and they need to be held accountable that we're not going to stand for other countries meddling in our election process, because it's one of the most sacred and important parts of our country. And if we're allowing other countries to
interfere with it,
regardless of who wins or not, I mean, that the sanctity of the process needs to be held intact.
Yeah.
And so, by all means, if there's physical proof and we can say for 100% certainty that this happened and this happened, this is where they intervened, that needs to be addressed. But just saying that we think that it happened and then people running off it with like, well, yeah, Putin typed into his computer how many votes to give Trump. Like, no. Like, show us some proof if that was real. I mean, Russia is, of course, saying they had nothing to do with it, but I really don't know if they would.
I could easily see Russia getting involved with it. But then again, I could also easily see, like you were talking about earlier, Russia being blamed for it.
Yeah.
It's
an easy blame.
Yeah, exactly. Because they wouldn't blame Russia because just to blame Russia. They would blame Russia to kind of tie them to Donald Trump and tear down. And
then it's an easier way to tear down Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because surprised the media likes to tear down Donald Trump.
Crazy, right? But then again, on the other side, like I said, I could easily see them trying
has Trump really
to have Donald Trump be elected president?
Has Trump really? I mean, what do you think Russia see if they did meddle and push Trump? What do they see in Trump that is pro-Russia?
I think that, one, Trump's Secretary of State pick is very friendly with Russia. Okay. But I think that they see
he's the one that's been photographed and has a relationship with Putin, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously CEO of ExxonMobil, is a global company and stuff like that. A huge oil company, which is one of Russia's main exports and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the picks later. I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick. But I think that Russia he sees someone who's openly saying that he wants to have a good relationship with Russia. And I honestly think that Vladimir Putin thinks that he will be able to manipulate Donald Trump into doing things that Vladimir Putin wants. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. I don't know. But we've seen,
once again, Trump hasn't even taken office.
Yeah, he hasn't taken office, but it concerns me because I've seen time and time again when Donald Trump has praised people who praise him.
Yes.
So if Donald Trump likes a person and they speak highly of him, he will speak highly of them as well. As long as they're not directly going after them. If they are, he'll destroy them. But if they're speaking up for him and stuff like that, he'll do the same for them. And I think that Vladimir Putin really sees an opportunity to manipulate that administration as well.
very
I hope I'm
possible.
wrong. I hope I'm
Yeah.
wrong because I would love for that
Yeah.
to not happen.
I mean,
If anything, Trump can do it. He's proved me wrong before. So
yeah, moving forward, I think we're going to have to be paying more attention to Russia. I mean, honestly, they really haven't been on my radar much other than the invasion and kind of knowing Russia wasn't in a great place.
Yeah.
But if they are meddling, that's not cool. If they're not, I think
it would just be.
I think it's
such dumb politics on Trump's part, man. Like, he could have easily come out and combated this to where no one could attack. He could have come out and said, yes, Russia meddling in United States election process, that is a bad thing, and I do not condone that
stand for it
at all. Yeah. However, the facts that have come to light in this are true, and the people deserve to know the truth. And people really need to look at those facts. And that would be... I think that would be a statement that a lot of people would accept, and he's condemning Russia in the process while he's also saying that, look, like, these facts are true, though. People need to look at this information and see what's really going on behind closed doors.
It's really the best of both worlds. It's saying if they did, that's bad, but if they didn't,
then we need to look at what has come to light.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree. And I mean, I think that even if Russia isn't like, so we had our Instagram post was Russia and it was friend or foe. A lot of great discussion, like Jared said earlier. I lean towards the friend part, where if they are bad, and I don't know if they're bad, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they're good. It would be better for us if we could be on friendlier terms, not in the way of them influencing us, like in our elections and taking advantage of Trump, but we don't need another war, and I don't necessarily think they would go to war with us if we put our foot down.
I mean, I think there can definitely be common alliances with that you can
we
still
don't have to love
with
them
Russia,
and agree with everything they have.
but I think that you still need to be strong on them when they cross lines,
like when they invade a country,
when they
we
fly
should
in
be like,
no-fly
that's not
zones,
cool.
or exactly. And we haven't seen that in the last administration.
Well, because I don't really think there's been a relationship, you know? Like, there hasn't really been any ability to talk and been like, listen,
dude,
that's
I
not
mean,
cool.
Hillary Clinton had the Russian reset button, though. I mean, she reset our relationship with Russia, and it has helped immensely.
Yeah, totally.
Clearly. Oh, what a failed Secretary of State.
What a failed presidential
I'm
candidate.
Sorry. That was how that is so sexist of you to say.
That is very sexist. I forgot.
No, I think people need to just do research on Vladimir Putin. Really get to see if you think that he is really that great of a person.
There's just so much gray area around him.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's very hard to pin down real facts because
they're hidden.
Which,
on one hand,
mysteriously
you
die
could see them being hidden because
them.
they don't exist, but you could also see them being hidden because if he was successful in what he's been, what people say he's done, they would be hidden. So it's hard to know which is which. I think he has a lot of amazing photos, though. He's done some really funny stuff, man. Like,
that is true.
Dude,
great. He's a good statesman, man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like when he had what he had that quote where it's like it's up to God to forgive the terrorists, but it's up to me to send them to him.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, man.
Well, he also has made multiple statements saying that like if ISIS comes after them or whatever, he will rain fire on them. Like he is just going to go at them. Yeah. And so, I mean, he scares me. Like he legitimately scares me. I just don't know if that's a scare of is he a loose cannon or is it a scare of wow, he's really powerful. I hope he doesn't hate me. I think he speaks. He displays strength. Yes.
100%. But I stand by. I do not think at all that they would go out. They would not have a war all out with the United States. They would totally lose.
Well, they would definitely lose.
Yes. 100%.
Hopefully. I mean, granted, assuming Obama hasn't destroyed our military anymore. But no, I think that we could still beat them. But in war, we just don't need another war, man.
Yeah, and I don't think they're looking for.
No,
I don't think
it doesn't. No, I don't.
They're just trying to see as they're trying to get as much as they can get.
They're like
without
pushing the boundaries
being
to see
hit too
how
hard.
far is too far.
Yeah.
Like this isn't too far. We can invade. Okay, they're not really going to do anything.
Here,
okay,
or we can prop up Assad here, and yeah. definitely. But we'll see, man. I mean, like we said, all this is speculation with what Donald Trump might do and respond to it. But I mean, we have seen him speak very warmly.
Well, because I think Putin's been open to have conversations with Trump, right? He's come forward and said. Oh, yeah. And so I don't know if that's unnerving or is that good. I don't know. Like it's uncharted waters, man. I mean, I really just don't know.
And my main thing about it is I don't want Republicans and conservatives to change their mind about Russia and stuff like that just because Donald Trump says it. Like, if there's overwhelming facts and evidence and you really think that your opinion has changed and you're like, maybe we've been approaching the situation with Russia wrong for the past 40 years, maybe we should change our mind, then by all means do it, you know. But just because Donald Trump says, you know, what's wrong with having a strong man as a leader, he displays strength, we should be friends with him. I don't think that should be a reason for people to say, yeah, you know, I think we should.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see what happens, and double check your sources as always.
Feel free to
do some research
join the
on
discussion
Putin.
on our Instagram post. It's been really good
and,
so far.
If you're not following us on Instagram, then you're dead to us. So
no, we'd love to have you follow. Don't listen to him. He's got a hat.
Holiday hat.
Holiday hat. Sorry, it's a end of the fiscal year hat.
End of the fiscal year hat. Yeah, no, I like it. It's nice. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and move on to what triggered us this week. All right, guys, we are back in my favorite segment of the video. Today we're going to be talking about what triggers us, which is where we retreat back and we make online internet videos when we become completely desperate. And, oh, wait, no, that's what Hollywood does. So, segue. This is what we're going to be talking about. So if you didn't know, December 19th is the day that the electors... Oh, my gosh, my cat just knocked over my tree. Freaking cat.
Oh, dude, he hates Christmas.
He hates Christmas.
The holidays.
Gosh.
Sorry.
That was a holiday tree, man. All right, anyways, this is the day that the electors vote, and then President-elect Trump would officially become president-elect.
Or a more qualified president.
Or a more qualified person. So anyways, they made this whole video, and it's so great because they're so desperate, and it's I love it. It's a 2-minute video. It probably took me 10 minutes to watch because every 30 seconds I had to pause it and go throw up and then come back. But in this video, man, it's a bunch of B-list celebrities. Which why are celebrities telling me their political opinions? I don't care.
Well, Jared, if a celebrity tells me to do something, I have to do it, right?
You have to, or else you're dead.
I mean, Tom Cruise knows what's best for my life. I mean, he can clearly relate to a white
dude.
privileged
I'm a Scientologist.
person.
I'm a Scientologist because of him.
Well, we both have white privilege, so.
Totally. Anyways, I don't know why they feel the need to express their political opinion because they don't relate to other people at all. No. So why do I have to care what you have to say? You can act and you're on screen. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe everything you believe. Anyways, this video is such bullcrap. They start off saying that, well, they don't. Through the video, they say that repeatedly, I stand with you. I support you. No, they don't. They don't support the electors at all. They're
asking. Well, you want to talk about what they're asking to do?
They're asking the electors to vote for a more qualified candidate,
but not Hillary Clinton specifically. The other qualified candidate that almost won.
Yeah. So this whole video is about these Hollywood celebrities and stuff like that coming on, saying, you have an opportunity to be a patriot. And, to go down in history and supporting your country and voting for a qualified candidate. It can be anyone, but Donald Trump isn't that qualified candidate. And they're specifically asking the Republican electors to not vote for Donald Trump. They're asking the electors to not represent the people that they're supposed to represent.
Yep.
And they're saying that they support them. They're quoting the freaking Federalist Papers. Any of these people know what the Federalist Papers are. I bet they could not even tell you who the authors of the Federalist Papers are.
Jared, it was on the script.
It was on the script, and they read it eloquently.
I think one person teared up. Yeah,
this video, if you haven't seen it, the link's in the description.
Man. It's
Check
insane.
it out. It's crazy. It just goes to show how much out of touch Hollywood is with the American people. It's not just accept the results of the election.
And a lot of the states, I mean, it's law that they have to go with their electors.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of the states, the electors are bound to vote for what the state decided and what the people represent. That's what they're there to do. In the video, they talk about they're there to make sure that a demigod
the president
is not elected, and it's not true. They're there to represent the people of all the states, of all of the United States of America. If every single state wanted to elect someone who was crazy, then that's what would happen, and that's who they should represent. They represent the people, not celebrities' opinions of a politic.
That the Electoral College is built to not let someone unqualified. That's not at all.
It's not why it was built.
It's there to give everyone a voice.
That's a side effect of it. Because
usually it is.
Usually it is because it creates the most fair environment where the majority of the country is represented in who they elect. So if the majority of the country is crazy, then they would elect. Yeah. Yes.
And
yes.
It's there to give everyone a vote and to give little states a vote and to have an equal vote. It's not there to make sure that Hillary Clinton gets in office.
Dude, I just love how desperate they sound.
It sounds, it's like so whining, great. Man.
And then also on top of it all, which is totally, it's an asinine video. It's stupid to make anyways. But even if the delegates didn't vote, even if he didn't get 270 electoral votes, it would go to the House, a Republican majority House, who would then...
Well, then you make another video, Jared, and then you bring in the A-list celebrities, and then you're like,
and then you bring in the real people, man,
and you're like the tears and the waterworks.
You're like, hey guys, I mean, come on, we made it this far.
Yeah.
But then Donald Trump would be elected.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and
so
it feels like such pandering, where it's like at the end they're like, and I stand with you. Like they're like, do this, and you get to say that. What got to stand with you.
They said we stand with the conservative, the independent, and the
liberal.
Because if there's one thing Hollywood stands for, it's the conservatives.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, all those conservative-focused movies.
Yeah, dude, all of them, man. They're great. I love watching that one that came out back in the 1930s. It was great.
Well, I mean, we got Blindside and. Yeah,
nailed it.
So that was awesome, yeah. Well, I want to move into to what triggered me this week.
Do it.
So this isn't even really about America per se. It's about the people in the Great White North, Canada.
Yes.
Lovely country, beautiful. Actually, honestly, beautiful country. I love Canada. I love visiting. It's great. I don't necessarily know if I would live there, but it's a great country. So, I didn't know this, but right now it is currently illegal for a woman or man to have pepper spray or mace or any kind of non-lethal self-defense.
A mace is in like the stick with like a huge
mace
ball
is in
with
the spray.
the stick.
Yeah.
Oh, the spray.
The medieval mace. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the spray that is totally non-lethal and just hurts people's eyes for a while.
Well, I mean, you'd be crying. I mean, maybe they spray the people and then they make the video.
And then they make the videos. Okay, got it. Perfect.
No, but it's currently illegal for women specifically, which is what this is in regards to carry any of these non-lethal ways to protect themselves if someone was to assault them or whatever.
Which might sound crazy, but before you think it's crazy, wait until you hear the reason why.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, exactly. So there's a new candidate for the Conservative Party coming forward. Kelly Leach, I think is how you pronounce it. It might be French, and I don't know how to pronounce French words. So if she becomes prime minister, she wants to change this. And what she says is, and I think it's pretty logical, that giving women a greater measure of protection against would-be attackers, end quote. That's her argument on allowing women to carry mace, pepper spray, ways to stop a would-be attacker non-lethally. Like, it's just going to make him cry and stop the attack.
Just carry a Glock.
Well, I mean, Canada don't allow them guns, so
America.
So the federal minister for the status of women, which I don't know what that title is, but
I want to become that when I grow up.
Well, you're a man, so that's sexist. Patty Hajdu is her name. She is adamantly against this. And you might say,
for
how
good
could
reason.
you be against that? But she has a solid reason.
Solid.
What she says is that quote, her, meaning Kelly, her misguided approach places the onus on women to defend themselves rather than focusing on addressing and preventing gender-based violence, end quote.
Well, see, dude, she understands it, man, because if you go to someone who's planning on raping someone or who has the ability to rape someone and you say, hey, don't do that, they're not going to do it.
Put up signs.
Rape-free zone. Put up signs. Exactly. Gun-free zones work so well in the United States. Yeah. They should just make rape-free zones.
Exactly. No, but so what she's arguing is that women shouldn't be allowed to carry self-defense weapons.
To defend themselves, because they shouldn't have to defend themselves.
Because it's not focusing on the gender-based violence. It's putting the onus on women to defend themselves, but not actually solving the issue of gender-based violence. Now, here's what I have a problem with. Gender-based violence is bad, obviously. But to say that we shouldn't allow women to defend themselves while we fix the gender-based violence is what I have a problem with. Acknowledge the gender-based violence, that's fine. But to say that we shouldn't let women defend themselves in the meantime, because let's face it, you're not going to fix this overnight.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's like stating that there's a crime problem and then not allowing the people in the specific city where there's a ton of crime to have any protection.
Well, no, because we're going to fix the crime first.
Because you can
totally just fix crime.
But you can't really fix it because the people who would fix the problem can't have anything to defend themselves.
Yep. It's completely crazy. And I just want to go on record saying that women should have pepper spray, mace, whatever the heck they want.
I have a solution to this.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right. We get a bunch of B-list celebrities to make a video to tell people not to rape women.
I'm sold. We get Celine Dion. It got to be Canadian. We get Celine Dion. We get Justin
I said
Bieber.
B-list. Celine Dion is freaking quality. Okay? B-list celebrities.
What is Canada? I mean, they only have like a couple of celebrities. So, I mean,
well, they can have some of our celebrities.
Yeah,
I would gladly give
them. I mean,
they can have some of ours.
Exactly. So I think the solution, we can all agree, is to not even let women defend themselves. We need to make the video first.
Yes.
And then we work on the gender-based, and then we work on actually being able to do something about it when you need to do something about it.
That's the last priority.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Annoying. It's
crazy.
I don't understand how someone can go to sleep at night saying, I don't want women to be able to defend themselves because...
So right now it is illegal, though. Right now it's
currently illegal.
That's insane.
Well, I mean, I think it's illegal here in some places to have that kind of stuff. Is it not? I don't know.
I don't know if you're maybe like in a school or like in a public
courthouse
or something like that. But I mean, any private business or anything like anywhere else you can go, you're not going to get arrested or anything like that for having pepper spray.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I walk onto my school campuses with like pocket knives and stuff like that, and like it's no big deal.
Oh, dude, triggered.
Done.
Yeah, but don't try to freaking walk into an Adele concert with a pocket knife. I would have lost my pocket knife for that. Dang it, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy that they can't.
Yeah, it's crazy that that's something that they have to campaign for.
It's baffling. It's idiotic. It's insane. It's stupid. And go Canada.
Go Canada.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this week's Peanut Gallery podcast. As always, guys, be sure and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on Instagram. We do a lot of posts on there. We have a lot of discussions. It's a really cool environment. Seth and I really like interacting with you guys on Instagram and stuff like that. Facebook as well. Be sure and check us out there. We are going to be doing in the very near future a series on gun control and gun videos and stuff like that. It's something that me and Seth care a lot about. So we're going to be doing these videos soon. Hopefully we're going to release them in January, kind of as a series, a part 1 through part 4 kind of thing. So be sure and stay tuned. Check those out. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be a lot of facts. It's going to be a lot of history behind it, and why the Second Amendment and stuff like that is so important, and why it was in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. So be sure and stay tuned for that. It's going to be really cool. Check us out next week. And well, actually, no, we're going to be off next week, right?
Next week is Christmas or the holidays,
next
or
week
the
is the
end
holidays.
of the fiscal year.
Yes.
We should call this the end of the fiscal year podcast.
That should be the name of this one. So yes, next week, if you didn't know, is the end of the fiscal year. So we will be taking it off as always.
As we do every year.
Yes.
Oh wait.
But we will be back next week with our 10th Peanut Gallery podcast. Kind of a big deal. We're huge now.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, have a freaking Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything, just enjoy some time.
Enjoy some time off. And you should celebrate something. And anyways, so check us out next week, next time. And remember, guys, we're all a little nuts.